Melissa, let's start off with a brief introduction.
Sure. My name is Melissa LaPlant, and I'm a certified P.E.T. instructor. And I am also a bilingual pediatric speech and language pathologist. I've worked with parents, children, and families for the past 25 years, and I love and have loved every minute of it.
Okay, tell us what it was like growing up in a PET family.
Growing up in a PET family was really amazing. All of the credit goes to my parents. They had 4 kids, and I know that we were not easy. We were a lot to handle. I feel incredibly blessed because I'm in a very unique position in that I am a person who was raised with PET, and I'm also trained now to teach others the PET techniques. And it's just really amazing to see this come full circle. I can remember as a very young child being in the back of the room when my dad, who is also a certified PET instructor, he's right there, when he was teaching. This was in the early 80s. And I was listening to him and even thinking as a young child, isn't this how all parents raise their children? I was kind of confused as to why it was being taught. And it wasn't until much later in life that I realized that, in fact, no. It is not the way all parents raise their children. My parents both came from dysfunctional and very broken homes, but they decided they were going to raise their children differently, and they did. There's such a great example of 2 people who broke the cycle. They're a true testament to the fact that you can change the way you raise your children to be different from how you were raised.
Melissa, how has the Gordon model impacted you and your relationships?
Such a great question. First of all, it impacted me as a child because I grew up being listened to and encouraged constantly to solve my problems independently. I learned to treat others with respect and how to handle adversity and confrontations by using all of the PET techniques. Fast forward to my marriage, and I have been able to successfully communicate my needs as well as listen to my husband's needs. And it has definitely been the greatest contributor to 25 years of a successful and happy marriage. And then we had our 2 amazing children, Sarah and Matthew. They are 19 and 14, respectively. And my husband and I are definitely raising our children in the PET philosophy. It's pretty cool to see it passing on to the next generation.
Melissa, tell us about your experience becoming an instructor, including the intensive week you spent at the instructor training.
I have always wanted to be a certified PET instructor, but I had to wait for the right time. I truly believe I was meant to train when I did, and that was October of 2022. I was able to attend that training, and I was meant to be there because the group of people that I trained with are incredibly spectacular human beings, and I was meant to be in that group. learning alongside them and experiencing everything we did to become trained instructors together. The week training out there was probably the most powerful experience I have had in a learning environment. And there are a few moments that really stick out in my head from that week. One of them being the first evening, the Sunday evening when we meet for the first time. I remember walking up to the table and grabbing my folder with the name on it. And when I sat down and opened it, it said, "Welcome to San Diego, Melissa." And I think that was truly the moment it hit me that this was happening. And what a week. Another moment that I found really powerful was when I did my practice teaching and got evaluated by my peers and also by Lance and Micah. It was such a cool experience, and I wasn't prepared for the emotional feeling of finally standing up and teaching something that my father taught 40 years ago. If you're even remotely thinking about becoming a certified P.E.T. instructor, I strongly urge you to reach out to Gordon Training International and speak to Lance. He is an incredible example of the Gordon model, and he is so helpful and supportive in the training process. And quite frankly, everyone at Gordon Training International that I have encountered is living the Gordon model. I have no words to describe what it was like being trained by the master trainer, Micah Lemons. She is just an incredible wealth of knowledge, and I will forever be grateful having been trained by her. And I just can't speak enough great things about becoming a trained and certified P.E.T. instructor.
Melissa, what has motivated you to teach P.E.T. skills to others?
My purpose as an instructor is to impact families and to promote more peaceful relationships between the family members, and in particular between parents and their children of all ages. I have an incredibly deep desire to share the skills with other parents so that P.E.T. can continue to live on to the next generation and beyond. And who knows, maybe one of my children will be the next trained, certified P.E.T. instructor and carry the family tradition.